Well, just a recap of what happened last night on Dragon Ball Z. You all dove down into the sewer grate just beneath the doctor's quarters. The doctor had a shady basement, and you determined that shady basement meant crime. And you're partly right, for sure. You definitely interacted with a couple criminals as they tried to sneak the doctor out and about. You chased him as he was invisible all the way through the sewers, coming across what can only be determined as jail cell, which upon closer inspection, you found that it was all of the mutants and monsters that he was personally working on for his own experiments. And so with what you seem to provide as ample evidence, you brought him to justice, taking him to the town guards, the guard barracks, and leaving him in their hands. So the city will do with what they will with their doctor. So you all find yourselves taking a nice long rest. Is there anything you'd like to do during your long rest? This is basically the night before. So for everyone's reference, there's like a calendar system. We'll try to use it. No, like it doesn't have to be like verbatim, but I hope it puts us like in a good frame of mind for like how things are happening, when they're happening, etc. And I'll keep track. So yes, this is the night before.
What, a trial?
The doctor's trial is not an immediate process. It goes through like the court system, and you're all aware like each city kind of handles its own domestic affairs as it sees fit.
Do we get
nice ambiance?
Do we get downtime?
So what we will do is add everyone to an initiative. Battle music starts playing.
We got twisted. Is there battle
You
music?
rolled low for me. I want to reroll.
It just auto rolls it. Everyone can re-roll their own thing, as they should.
I'm kidding. It's fine. It's fine.
Reset. And now everybody has to.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I like not rolling.
Oh, Bruce beat me this time.
Oh, there it is. Nope,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not-
we have a +3 proficiency now. That's the shit. That's strange. I thought proficiency went by twos. I was very confused.
No.
Nope.
Haha, noob.
I'm a dummy.
So one thing everybody will notice is on the combat tracker, it'll have like a little chat box now. So you don't have to like tab back and forth or use the pop out function. So that's up to you if you want to use it.
Where is it?
So top right, the little fist icon.
Right.
It no longer like hides the chat, is what he's saying.
Oh, I see. Cool,
Yeah, so
cool.
it'll help you keep track of things too. During your turn, you're saying something to everybody that they can hear you. And then you're also deciding on what you want to do for your personal time, your downtime, your long rest. So we're just doing combat tracker, so it's a little bit more organized. That's all.
All right, gentlemen. I'm just going to go to bed now, and then I want to sneak out of the inn.
Okay.
And go practice
you.
some judo. Let's go practice judo.
Sure.
Off in the shadows somewhere.
And tell us what your idea of judo is and like how you would practice it. Do you have people like you hunt down crime, for example, or are you practicing in the woods? Like shadow boxing. Like how is Bruce practicing judo?
Judo? I'm making bagels. No? All right. Anyway,
Wax on, wax off.
I'll go I'll go find a really thick tree and then use it like one of those what do you call it?
Training dummy.
Yeah, like those things that have all those arms sticking out of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
so as you're stealthing out, because you're making it seem as though you're going to bed, you're going to be rested for the next day's events. Go ahead and make your stealth check.
Yes. Stealth check.
So
Great stuff.
with the clear sky outside, you don't really have a canopy to hide in, but you stick to the shadows and you hop out of your inn window. You're all staying at the Last Resort Inn, and so you hop out of your window and you creep down the brick wall to find your way outside and up above this cavernous place. And as you remember, like there's staircases that climb all the way up to the plateau of land above. You're essentially inside of a cliff face, this town. And so as you ascend all the way to the top, you see these rich pine trees, and the ground itself, it's as though it's like fissures happen on daily. And go ahead and make a nature check.
Ooh, okay.
You understand that these are irregular fissures, even for how irregular the area is, and how you've been traveling through it for many days now. It's just these are growing louder. They seem to be more dramatic and often as when you first arrive. Something's awry, but you decide to go deep into your training and go ahead and roll your downtime button for your judo.
All right. Judo. Come on, baby.
You
Oh, that's terrible.
you find a beautiful, pristine tree, and you just begin to wail on it, and it's just not as responsive as a true opponent. And you, trying to practice your throwing techniques, you realize a tree is not gonna go with you when you're trying to throw it over you. And so there might have been trees out, in the wilds that you could have used for such a endeavor, such as, like bending palm trees and such, just to finesse your strength. However, these trees were just not appropriate.
It's not as fun when they don't hit back.
Okay, and then you make your way back to town.
I guess I'll go home.
And we might do 2 rounds. We'll see. But Laszlo, what would you like to do?
Okay, well, I'm a little confused because I have a lot more recipes
Yes.
open than I did before.
Yes.
So, am I able to just use those recipes?
So you'll notice that there should be like a parentheses in the consumable section. Like it's like 2H, 4H. Do you see those?
No, I'm just in my artificer's index.
Yep. And then inside your index, which button do you click?
I clicked firearms.
Okay, so firearms. Yeah, just as an example, the very first line, it says 100 times ammo.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the far right, it says components and costs.
Yeah.
Yep. So the 4H is the time. So that means it
Yeah.
takes 4 hours. So I think for the benefit of the doubt, we're going to have 2 rounds of downtime. So if you wanted to craft 100 rounds of fire ammo, yeah, it would take 4 hours. Same with a pistol, though.
No, I want to go buy some ingots.
Okay.
If I go around and go shopping for some ingots and maybe some stuff to turn into metal scrap.
Hmm. Okay. So if you do that, and this is specific for you, and we're obviously going to be working it as we go, you can craft and you can buy things. So being the support class,
Okay.
you can do both.
Okay. Yeah, I want to go into town. I want to go buy some, specifically 3 ingots.
Okay.
And I'm looking at my inventory. I don't think. I have to open up my bag of holding. I'm trying to see if I have anything that I can turn into scraps.
Yeah, and also, don't forget, you can talk with your party. So we did it a little bit backwards because, introducing this new mechanic. So you can ask your party before you leave, like, hey, do you guys have anything I can turn into scraps?
Yeah. Hey guys, do you have any spare metal objects that you have lying around in your inventory that you don't need, you haven't used in a while, or anything like that?
I
No,
don't
that-
carry any metal.
I ditched all that. I'm light as a feather.
I-
Is anybody else here
Yeah,
popping
it's Caleb.
popcorn?
Caleb, can you mute?
I'm sorry.
I was testing everybody's mic, and it was Caleb.
Is that better?
Thank you.
Yes. I can still hear it now. Though. It's like it's barely coming in.
It's kind of nice.
All right, what was the
I'll
question?
sit with you.
What was the verdict?
I don't know why I have a hammer, but I have a hammer. So I do have this hammer, and I do not know where I have it. So
Thank you. I take it from him and I destroy it on the spot and turn it into scraps. If I can. If you let me. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna reread that specific thing of turning things into scraps. But go ahead and make your tinker's check.
Okay.
I mean, I got
it's a tool check, right?
I got a mess kit.
Yep.
I got a bunch of silverware. Would that help him?
are you going to eat
If you
like
don't
an
want to keep
animal?
it, yeah. Hmm.
I guess
but I
I do
get
have to
what's
eat,
my
huh?
tinker's bonuses?
6. So if you look, you have 2 bubbles. So this is to make your tool checks easier because you have so many tools.
Sorry. Give me move on to someone else real quick. I got a
Sure.
phone call I'm gonna take real quick.
No problem. And just so everyone is aware, Laszlo takes Salvatore's hammer, and in his hands, he taps it with his tinker's tool, and it just falls apart into like nuts and bolts and pieces. He earned 2 pieces of scrap metal.
Nice.
And he can use that for a variety of recipes. I'm giving him a specific crafting system, and so everybody benefits from it. However, his is very like customizable. Like, so he can use potions and poisons, but he can also craft explosives. He can craft rune engineering type inventions. He can learn more infusions. And then he can specifically give each of you a customized gadget, and those are called gizmos. So Bruce already has access to these. They're more or less like a part of his kit, but he also can craft a returning dagger rang for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll just like, you'll throw it and it'll return back to your hand like a boomerang. So we'll come back to him though. Alonso, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna sit down in the lobby there at the inn and just kind of hang on my yarting here and just hope that some people enjoy the sounds that they're hearing.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check to convince the innkeeper if you can get up on stage. This is actually one of the more prominent places to play.
Oh, I wasn't trying to be all that fancy, sir. I was just trying to sit in the corner and strum.
So, what's fun is that you can forego the persuasion check to go to, like a dive bar, something a little more rundown. If you're trying to perform, that is. If you don't want to perform.
No, I'm more trying to perform without making an audience. The audience I want it to be more of an ambiance for people. I don't want them to gather around. I just kind of want to strum.
Okay. Yeah, so let's just say you're going about town. This might be a common activity for Alonso. He likes to walk and explore while strumming his yarting. So go ahead and give us that downtime roll.
Yeah, I guess knowing that the inns don't prefer somebody to just start playing music in their play. What do we play for performance? You said.
Yeah, so
or hit the downtime button.
Yeah, for you this might be new. Downtime, it's in your character sheet, the very far tab, the last tab, and at the bottom you have bardic whistle and yarting.
Ooh.
And so yeah, you successfully completed the objective. So yeah, you rolled a d20 and you got past that first tier. So just to describe the event, you're walking through town, you're just gently strumming at your yarting. Are you playing melodically fast? Like, is there a genre that you play?
Oh, it's country, man.
It's country.
Yeah, it's like Texas, but good country, not like modern country, like like Willie Nelson and like stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Cash kind of stuff,
Sure. So you have been practicing your whole life. This has basically been your instrument of choice, and so you take it around with you on your travels. It's one of your favorite forms of entertainment because music is good for the soul. You don't have to be a professional to enjoy music and to have a beautiful melody that creates itself in your mind, and you just choose to express it. This is one of your few, if any, means of expression, and it's such a soothing feeling because you're so in tune with the yarting. So go ahead and give us a performance check, and this is just for people to hear around you.
I do want to say one thing, sir. I just realized this. I actually have proficiency with this here yarting. You saying that I've had it all my life reminded me that part of my background here is I have a set of traveler's clothes and any one musical instrument or gaming set you are proficient with, and so that would be a +3 to those rolls. So we don't have to change that right now, but just a reminder.
Yep. If you use your Yarting in your inventory, it does add that proficiency.
Hey. Oh, my apologies. I guess it was just because the downtime activity didn't have it. I assumed it didn't have it on the yard.
Yeah, the downtimes only use your modifier, not your proficiency. They're supposed to be a little bit more difficult.
Roger.
All right, but go ahead and click a performance check for us.
I saw that 21 and thought you were gonna let me have that.
No, sir.
All right, let's see. Performance.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm back, guys.
You're okay.
Oh, nice.
Yay.
Okay. So, yeah, if you click yourself, like your token, and then click in chat the use Yarting button at the very bottom, that'll work.
I thought you wanted me to do something different. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yo, thank God my recipes actually work at the pop-out window.
I clicked it and it's kind of just it does now has a. It's not letting me click it again. I clicked it once and it's not letting me click it again.
Yep. If you click it in your inventory, and this is good that we're figuring out how these buttons work. If you click it in your inventory, it'll redo that, and it'll probably allow you to do it.
Got it. There we go.
Yep.
Oh, hey. There, no,
And then in the chat box, you'll click the use Yarting and then normal. There should be a pop-out window.
No, that was what I did.
Yeah, in the chat box now, if you look on the bottom right,
That's what I did. That's what I'm saying. I clicked in the chat box and
it doesn't create a pop-out for you?
it did. And I just rolled. I hit normal, and then rolled the. I'll take the better roll, man.
Well, what'd you roll? I don't even see the roll. That's the thing.
Oh. First 10, then 14.
Okay.
I'll take the 10.
Gotcha. So with your 10, you weren't exactly, easy to follow. Like, you were more or less like improvising and coming up with melodic tunes as you went. You were just having a Alonso of a good time. And so for you, you entertained yourself, and that's all that matters. You actually learned a new spell. That this spell is always prepared. Fuck. This is what it is. I have to import it, but you are welcome to try and use it tonight. And if you click it, it'll make it bigger.
Ooh.
Interesting. I like it. All right, cool. So it's cool. It like ruins concentration first turn and then damage every turn after that. That's really cool.
That's
That's fun.
You
Yeah,
almost didn't pop something.
I see how I could use this Yarting to my advantage. Weave a little bit of magic in there. All right.
You also earned one more thing, and I just want to... You'll see it. And you'll not believe it, but I just want to import it so you have it already.
I'm tantalized.
Ignore the increase in level. You didn't get that.
I didn't even notice. God damn it, Caleb. Can't you just do push to talk?
I thought I pulled it far enough away.
No, there hasn't been a time you poured a drink that we haven't heard.
That was really good, Mike.
So, Alonso, if you'd like to check your active abilities, and you can tell the party what you are able to do for them.
Where would I find that, sir?
So, character sheet and features.
Features, okay. Hey, that's fun, guys. I can make us heal a little bit better. We can. If we all gather around and listen to me play some music, we can just get just a tiny bit better feeling.
Oh,
Heal them internal wounds of the soul.
So I have to listen.
Yes.
Just as an example.
Oh, that's super sick.
So yeah, he basically gets that bardic feature, Song of Rest, but at a very low quality. He's not exactly a bard, but it helps. A little extra 2 healing, 3, maybe 4. sometimes one, it definitely goes the distance.
That's cool though. That's fun.
And so that'll be your turn. And yeah, we might come around. So we'll go back to Laszlo. What else did you want to do? You got from that hammer 2 pieces of scrap. Did anyone else provide you with a weapon that you could salvage?
I don't think so. So I'll just go to the shop, buy the ingots. If I need to, I'll buy some weapons or any metallic thing that I can like scrap for some until I get enough scraps.
Okay. So ingots are only 2 gold pieces each.
Okay.
And, you know, that price might fluctuate because these recipes are pretty easy to make if that's the case. But for now, giving you the benefit of the doubt, how many ingots would you like? They're pretty heavy, though. Like, you can't be carrying around so many ingots.
3's fine for now. Yeah,
Elliot.
3's fine.
That level up gave me an extra spell slot. I'm taking it away from myself, but I'm taking it away.
Yeah,
But
thanks.
I thought it was funny.
I basically gave you everything, level 2 bard has. And so it probably broke a couple things. But yeah, please keep a lookout. Thank you. And so, yes, you are buying metal scraps, and you'd like to learn how much those are, correct?
Yeah.
So,
I need a lot of metal scraps.
mm-hmm. So metal scraps are 1 silver piece each, and they may or may not be easy to find. As in, like, you're looking for, like, the scrap guy, the guy that has all, like, the worn down parts. Or you can just go and buy, like, the whole weaponsmith's inventory, if you so choose, and then just break them down. However, salvaging things does take time.
Okay. Let me see.
I'm feeling a lot more skilled, y'all. I feel like we should go out and start trying some stuff that we never tried before.
Am I able to find a junk guy?
Yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation check for us.
Okay.
Scrap goblin.
Yeah, man. This is good old-fashioned goblin engineering. Oh my fuck!
The sound always gets me too.
I was perfect with goblin engineering too.
Yep.
Come on.
You still do get the +7 though, which is always a... Well, never mind, it's still a natural 1. However, I just wanted to share this with you, Chris. While I was testing things, I got 3 natural 20s in a row on your character.
Motherfucker.
You used up all the... Yeah.
However, you were just unable to find like a specifically like a junkyard, a scrap mechanic, a mechanic for that part. Like this is a trading port, and it's definitely not one where people come to get their shit fixed. However, you are able to find like the shipwright, and he kind of like points you in the right direction of, you know, some traveling merchants who might have some scrap, and they have roughly 20 scraps available.
20 scraps?
Yep.
I guess I'll buy them all then.
Okay.
So
Make a persuasion check, because you're desperate.
I swear if I get another one. Jesus.
Yeah, okay, sure. Here you go, kid. That'll be 3 gold.
Alrighty. 3 gold, and then I paid 6 gold for the ingots earlier, right? So
Yep.
9 gold.
And I will drag and drop that into your bag of holding or your inventory. Which would you prefer?
Just in my inventory, because I'm going to use a lot of them real quick.
Okay.
Plus 1 hammer.
No, I scrapped that hammer. Like, real fast. I scrapped it in front of you. So I should have 22 scraps.
Yes. And what are you trying to craft?
A pistol.
All right, so go ahead and make your Tinker's Tool check. So it takes 4 hours. So your next round, we're going to do one more round of downtime for everybody. This will probably be like the early night. So you have to make 2 successful Tinker's Tools checks in order to craft your pistol.
2 successful. Okay. And my bonus with Tinker's Tool, I'm proficient with them, right? So that's
You are.
just added than proficiency bonus?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead and make 2 checks for us.
Oh, plus intelligence. God damn it.
So, you can start reading through the recipe rules. However, I believe half of your materials are lost because you have botched this part of the recipe.
Okay.
Let's see.
Where are you doing this, Lazo? Are you doing this like in your room?
Yeah.
How are you rooming right now? Are you all in separate rooms?
So that's up to you all. Like you're kind of like bedding down. You can share a room, or you can each pay 1 gold piece to get your own room.
I like sleep alone.
I'll bunk up.
Anybody else?
I'll probably be by myself since I'm tinkering right now.
I'll probably pass
Sitting
out
under my breath.
after drinking downstairs in the bar.
You'll just pass out in the bar. All right, let's split C's, Kai.
I will go the economical route.
Sounds good. Also, you did not lose any of your materials on Laszlo. So these are the rules that we're going by. So if you look in chat, that just verifies it. So if you succeed on the roll, so there is a specific DC for the craft, you make 2 hours of progress. So you need a total of 4 hours of progress.
Okay.
Yeah, but you also need sleep tonight. So that's why we're only doing, 2 things of downtime. However, if you choose, like, and this is just me talking out loud, like everyone can just let Alonso go see his dad and you can all spend more downtime. Or there's tons of things to do, near Alonso's dad. Like, I want to make it clear that this is a sandbox. You guys can do whatever you want. Laszlo, if you think it's more important to craft your gun, you can do that. But yeah, we'll come back to you. Salvatore, what are you up to?
Keep failing my rolls.
You can keep failing, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't hit anything above 10 yet.
And so, like, I'm assuming like the timelines aren't exact. But, like, this is just like each of our nights individually. But Salvatore goes to Laszlo and he says, "So I noticed you like the potions and stuff."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
that's kind of my thing.
Well, I'll have you know, as a blood hunter, we have sacred alchemical arts. And
Oh, yeah?
seeing as we're going together on this journey, perhaps it will be advantageous for us to swap notes.
Well, why don't you tell me what you know? Because I have a hard time believing you know how to...
You have a hard time believing that an ancient sect has no knowledge that you have never heard of before. You're basically just saying right now, you as a silly little goblin who grew up in a dirt hole town, that you know absolutely everything.
I'm just
and
saying,
there's nothing.
I'm a man of science and medicine.
Well,
And-
Salvatore radiating big dick energy just gives him everything he knows. And then this is, I mean, like, I don't know exactly everything that blood hunters have taught me, so it does,
Come on,
is
spill it. No, just kidding.
yeah.
I don't really remember all of it.
Well, I mean,
read his notes,
out
take
of
it
character,
in.
I don't, but Salvatore knows it.
I'll read his notes, take it in, like, all right. You know, next time, or like I'll like read some notes, be like, oh yeah, you can do this here, and you know, like show him some of my stuff, and be like, all right, next time I'm working on some potions, I'll ask for your assistance. Maybe we can make some, you know, something greater than we could do individually together.
This sounds cool. It seems all our interactions are lackluster. However, I wish to help you, and I hope that you would help me in the future.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
And then
at this point, we're kind of stuck together, so
I like to think that we are it's a good thing we are together, but it's however you would like to look at it. And then
Laszlo squints at him, still remembering when he attacked him viciously in the arena.
So thanks to Salvatore's willingness to share his blood hunting capabilities and his alchemical proficiency, Laszlo, you get a free roll for helping Salvatore. So basically the same thing you did for Bruce, you can go ahead and roll your gizmos for Salvatore. And this has a lot to do with the mutagens that Salvatore found in that hidden rock. When you were chasing the alchemist, you found that rock, and inside were 2 potions of, well, apparently a mutagen. And you watched Raoul Pepperbox. He had used one mid-combat.
Okay.
Yep. But go ahead and roll downtime, Laszlo. This is for Salvatore. The very bottom. Yep.
Oh, of course.
You rolled in, yeah, you natural 20 that one, or 19 to.
You're a support man. That's what you do.
Yep. So one thing
Can't make guns though.
can't make guns. One thing you noted though is that these mutagens that Salvatore had found, they are unusable by anyone except Raoul Pepperskin. Like, they have a DNA composition that only his body can process, as well as accentuate his abilities. But you get the impression that you can help make the same thing for Salvatore. And so you learn how to make certain concoctions that might aid him. And it's a homebrew concoction, but to give you an idea for both of you, both Salvatore and Laszlo, if Salvatore drinks these specific mutagens, activating any rite no longer rolls the Hemocraft dice. It's always 1 hit point. So activating it, you only do 1 damage to yourself.
Very good. I like it.
Yep. So what else is Salvatore up to?
Will that recipe appear in my gizmos then?
Yes. I wasn't expecting you to complete it.
With the newfound knowledge Salvatore's gained from Laszlo, he's going to go ahead and get a little bit more studious with his mutagens.
Oh, okay. You can go ahead and roll that downtime then.
And I learned nothing.
Yeah, you are starting to grasp the concepts. One thing you note is that you need a alchemical supplies kit of your own, something, like beakers and vials and the tools necessary, like an alembic, so that you can directly convolute and create concoctions of your own. So you need alchemical supplies of your own if you choose to go down this path. And they cost 50 gold pieces. However, your friend Laszlo can craft them.
Hey, I was wondering, could I get a set of those beakers and test tubes and those other things you have?
Oh shit, did he disconnect?
Oh, he must have.
Yeah.
He says yes. All right, let's continue.
And you can have all my
Can
gold.
you hear me now?
There he is.
Hello?
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah.
This stupid Foundry thing is like I could hear you all. I just disconnected my mic.
I'll help you try and troubleshoot stuff another day.
I will find you scrap. I will find you scrap.
Alchemical supplies? You need an alchemical supply kit?
That would be is the word I'm looking for. Yes, I would like that.
All right, I'll have one for you tomorrow morning.
Oh, thank you.
It's like Amazon.
Next day delivery. So convenient.
So
But
one thing
need
you
to subscribe to Prime, Laszlo Prime,
Laszlo Prime.
or else, and forward me, 12 gold and 95 silver every month.
So one thing you both note is that thieves' tools and the ones that are currently in Salvatore's possessions, they are the magical tools that Laszlo creates. And so both of you can and have proficiency with thieves' tools. If you want to purchase some, that is also applicable. But neither of you have one if Laszlo chooses to make the supplies. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, they're magical thieves' tools that you currently have, Salvatore.
They will disappear.
They will disappear.
as I make you the alchemical supplies.
Okay, but I still have my magical thieves tools. You're saying?
No,
Is that what you're
No.
saying?
that's
Okay,
what disappears. That's what disappears.
Supplies, the thieves' tools disappear.
So, if we were to compare, what's more expensive, thieves' tools or alchemical supplies?
Oh, chemical supplies.
All right, I will do that, and then I'll spend the rest of my time buying thieves' tools.
Okay. Just make an investigation check, because this is kind of like the shady part of town that you're looking for thieves' tools. And trust me, there is a shady part of town. But you don't just walk up to some guy in a trench coat and you're like, "Hey, you got any thieves' tools?"
Hey, man.
And that's exactly what you did. And what do you know? The guy opens his coat pocket. Yeah, 25. He closes his coat pocket.
I'm just gonna try and haggle just a little bit, see what happens. And I would like to persuade him for a little bit less than 25 gold.
Sure, make a persuasion check. $20.
Okay.
He opens his other coat pocket and he says, "All right, put the money in this side." It's like a vending machine, like a human vending machine.
So he puts the gold pieces in over 20
yes.
times.
Oh yeah, and he's like groaning and moaning every time you put a coin in.
Ew.
Salvatore just keeps going and
Slower.
he's just like Salvatore slows down a little bit.
Yes. 19 this time. So he's giving you another discount. 19 gold pieces.
Oh.
Got eyebrows working.
So
But yeah, yeah, just mark down 19 gold pieces. And this last coin you put in, the thieves' tools just falls down and hits the ground.
And Salvatore picks him up and he goes, thank you.
Yes.
And he like quickly walks away.
Thanks for shopping at Shankmart. And okay,
Thank you later.
so now we're over at what Kai's up to. And don't forget, you can talk to your party if you choose.
I will. First, I'm going to go foraging for some things.
Oh, okay. Herbalism kit?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for it.
So maybe foraging isn't the right word. I'm looking specifically for a few things. My feather, tuft of fur, and fishtail.
Ooh, okay. Is there a material value for those? Like cost value?
No.
Okay, so it's a tuft of fur and what tail?
A feather and a fishtail.
Feather and a fishtail. Make an investigation check.
Okay.
This is a pretty bustling like port town, and you're quite positive like you can get fresh fish, or at least iced fish. And then certainly there's got to be a feather that.
Oh, geez.
Unfortunately, while fish were accessible, and you found plenty of mostly frozen fish, and unfortunately it's not as fresh as you'd like, being that this is a landlocked town. So no fresh fish, and while every bird that could be in the vicinity was most likely scared off, save for a couple seagulls that seem to hover around a specific ship. You can try and convince one of the seagulls to share a feather.
I would like to. I'm going to summon my little familiar,
Okay.
my seagull familiar, and have him try to find a feather or take a feather from one of the seagulls.
Okay. Sure, make an animal handling check. Even though it's an extension of yourself, you're essentially like taking the time to control it and monitor its actions. And as Makani squaws up the seagulls, they try to square up against Makani, and you can see like it's a complete gang of seagulls that surround Makani, and they all start beginning to poke and peck at it. And as you're familiar, it vanishes, dies.
Wow.
The seagulls look angry. However, there's a big tuft of feathers from the attack, so you get one feather.
All right, I got the feather. Not the way I had hoped, but I came upon it anyways.
Yeah, Makani sacrificed himself for your spell's components.
Do I see any stray cats near the seagulls and fish that I could try to get a tuft of fur from?
Oh, okay, tuft of fur. I thought you said feather. That's why I did the whole seagull thing.
Oh no, it was a fishtail, a feather, and a tuft of fur.
Oh, okay, all three. Then yes, go ahead and make a investigation check for a cat. There's tons of cats in the area, and just being able to find one, you're able to successfully like convince one. You purchase this fishtail, which is only 1 silver piece if you'd like to mark it down. And so with the frozen fish, you essentially make a medicine check for how well you dissect this fish that you purchased.
Medicine.
Yeah, you're able to carve off like the nice, juicy, hearty part, and you're able to, just with a little bit of druid magic, make it seem very enticing for a feline foe, and you toss it over into the alley. Immediately 3 or so cats begin to just munch away at it. You can see you're feeding an entire family, like a small litter, and the mother cat comes up and, walks through your feet and purrs loudly, very thankful for the meal you've given her kittens.
So I'll pet her and then just pinch off just a little bit of fur, but she won't mind.
It scatters over and grabs the food in its mouth, and all the kittens chase after her. Apparently she's in danger. But yeah, you get your tuft of fur.
Okay.
And yeah, you got all your components. Is there any downtime activity you'd like to roll?
I would like to spend the rest of my time. If I have time to talk to Laszlo about what I'm trying to make, I'll do that. But then otherwise I'm going to meditate for the rest of my evening.
Okay. Yeah, what would you like to ask Laszlo?
So, Laszlo,
Yeah.
I noticed that you are quite handy with building and tinkering and spell that.
Oh, sorry, you're cutting out.
Yeah, maybe hold your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I remembered an old spell that my teachers used to be able to use, but it takes quite a bit of skill to come up with some of the components, and I was wondering if you would be able to
Yeah, I think you cut out again.
to craft something for me.
What are you looking to make? It will depend on what you're trying to make, of course.
So I hold out a tuft of fur, a feather, and a dead fish tail, and I say, this needs to be encased in an acorn made entirely of gold.
Make an Arcana check, Laszlo.
Easy.
Perfect.
Apparently.
Yeah. This is an ancient ritual you've heard about in just, bedtime stories past. And you've always been so enamored with trying to create such a beautiful invention of nature. And so you have this spur of the moment innovation, this brainstorm of like, yeah, I can do that.
I can do that. Can I just take it from him and I guess I'll try to do that.
Sure. With that check, it's a lot simpler than you thought, but you did it so delicately, so perfectly. The only thing that needs to be deducted is the monetary value of the gold. So Kai will need to just spend the exact amount of the value, which is what, 200?
Yep.
200 gold pieces.
I just take it from his pocket. Like, I don't even ask. I'm like, I'm gonna need this.
It's basically he gives you the coins, and the coins you melt down using your tool set, and you're able to create this thin yet pristine coat of gold that you encompass an acorn that he provided, one of which that he found near the Gaian tree, Terra Gaia.
Oh, nice.
And so you have all those material components. What spell is it that you're trying to use, Mr. Kai?
It is Summon Beast, which allows me to summon a bestial spirit that I can, I think I can keep it for an hour at a time, and it can be a land, water, or air type beast.
Okay.
Hence the feather, fur, and tail.
Does that consume the acorn?
No, I just needed to have the acorn because it's expensive.
Okay.
All right, so I added it to your spell list, and you are welcome to
Awesome.
exchange it.
I'll give I'll give Laszlo my wooden watch ring as thank you.
Watch.
What's the name of that spell?
Summon beast.
Summon Beast. It's from Tasha's. Am I able to give him that, or
Yeah.
you got it?
Yep. So if you'd like, Laszlo, to attempt to walk up to that little ring on the ground and then click it. It should add it to your inventory.
Thank you for
Yeah.
crafting this for me. I feel like this is something that might be interesting to you.
Oh, thank you. And anytime, if you ever need something crafted, I'm your guy.
Laszlo Prime, $12.95.
How's the front?
Bob the Builder over here.
Fantastic. You earned a bond point. So you may actually roll for Kai's downtime now, Laszlo.
Okay.
If you roll another 20, we're ending the session. Good. I mean, oh.
2 seconds.
All right. So this is the second round of downtime, and then it'll be a new day. So what would you like to do, Bruce?
All right.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
I will change back to Bruce form. I'd like to go into town. I'd like to find and purchase another bolas if possible.
Certainly. Only one?
Yeah, they're pretty. I feel like they're pretty big.
Mhm.
It'd be annoying to have more than one.
For sure. Go ahead and make me an intelligence check first.
Okay. Just straight intelligence.
Yep. Straight intelligence.
You know, guys, I'm kind of worried about Bruce. I'm not sure if he ever sleeps. We got to get him out of the city. He's the only time I've ever seen him sleep is when we're keeping guard.
It's the late evening. It's around 11 p.m. if you were to put it in perspective. So rounding midnight, you note that Bruce has been out and about later than average. However, Bruce, your mind is so enamored with new blueprints and gadgets and gizmos and pageantries that you can use in combat. Things that are a little bit excessive, but really create a style, a flavor of combat that you yourself love to show crime. You're trying to send a message. Is there any particular animal that you represent? Or like a symbol? Like perhaps there's an icon that you would have strewn about? Like a calling card even.
Platypus.
A platypus.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
That really strikes fear into the heart of many. I don't know. Just go.
What is this abomination?
Obviously a bat.
Okay.
I don't think I could say it.
It's hard to avoid. But what's crazy is that you're thinking of all the different animals or symbols or just natural occurrences, like a tornado. Maybe I'm the black tornado. And then you see these bats that are hanging from the cavern wall, and they're hanging so precariously, so vigilantly, so resilient. They seem to be always watching, always waiting. They are the night. And so, as you're staring upon them, just gazing, brainstorming, staring, making them very uncomfortable, you eventually walk up to a smith, and he has, these round objects that you can discern would be excellent bolas. So you can purchase 2 if you'd like, but he has enough to definitely sell you 1. Like, he'll even patch it together. He'll use some cord that he has lying around to create excellent, pristine quality bolas.
Yeah, let's get one of those bad boys.
Sure. Go ahead and add it to your inventory. I think 1 gold piece sounds about right.
Sure.
And then-
Pleasure doing business.
And you can roll any of your downtime activities if you'd like.
Yeah, let's see what we got. Bat gadgets and blueprints.
Yes, perfect. And so you begin to ruminate on all the different tools that you could add to your arsenal. And just to give you an idea of something you could craft, maybe in the future, not now. You're still sketching it out in your mind's eye. You can have your grapnel hook pull you to your enemy if you so choose. But that might take a couple advancements in the technology.
That'd be so sick. For another time.
Very good. And so you'll creep your way back into your personal suite. You being able to afford it, I'm sure you're accommodating your life of luxury, or are you bunking with someone?
Hell no.
Okay.
I sleep alone.
All right, doing a stealth check with advantage then.
It's super hard to brood when there's someone else in your room.
No one knew you left, and no one knew you came back.
I'm so awesome.
All right, we're back to Laszlo. Is there anything you'd like to do on your second round of downtime?
I'm gonna keep trying out this freaking pistol.
Okay. And Laszlo, as you're hammering away, tinkering really, that you imagine all the different ways this pistol could be used, and you get a good idea of how runestones and runeengineering can be implemented into the pistol. And so I'm allowing you to roll once more for this downtime
Why?
activity.
Runeengineering.
Runeengineering.
I mean, if you're going to let me, I'm gonna take it. There we go.
Yep. And so now you've finally begun to make progress on this pistol. You think one more 2-hour session, you could totally hammer out the kinks on this pissed off pistol.
Awesome.
Anything else you'd like to do, or are you bedding down for the evening?
No, I basically just want to. I have the pistol in mind, so it's. If I don't have any more time, I'll just rest my head or go to sleep and pick it up when I can.
Okay. Yeah. So your mind was so focused on making at least some semblance of progress on this pistol.
Actually,
Yes.
I remembered. I wanted a bag of colding if I could find one, and maybe a workbench if I can fit one of those. And would I be able to fit a workbench to a bag of holding?
Unfortunately, no. The opening is not large enough for a workbench.
Okay.
But if you'd like to make an investigation check with disadvantage, because a bag of colding is a magic item, and this is not exactly the best bazaar for magic items. It's definitely a great bazaar for like trade goods. All right, once more. Yeah, unfortunately, this isn't the area. However, you do get, after asking around, you understand that maybe Deeprock, the main city, like they might have some great magic items. You've heard good things about an arcanist who lives deep below the city, and just through general reviews and suggestions, like they say that is a good place to find like enchanted items specifically.
Can I find anyone that would want to buy a mind flayer brain or heart, like monster parts?
So what's funny is you killed the one guy that might, or you put the one guy that might in jail. But sure, make an investigation check with disadvantage.
Justice was served.
Yeah, nobody really wants this intestine-looking part that you claim to be a mind flayer. Like, no one has ever heard the word mind flayer around here. It seems as though you're, like, making up, like, creatures. Everyone kind of, like, thinks you're crazy. Yeah, you were not able to find a buyer.
All right.
And so that means you have until 6 p.m. So dusk of tomorrow to, sell it or find a way to, salvage it, as in help it not go bad, expire, etc.
Yeah.
All right, Alonso.
Well, I don't really have all that much I want to do left for downtime. I just wanted to get some more arrows for myself and maybe I guess kind of ask Laszlo while he's tinkering there if he can tinker any kind of special arrows, like arrows that might be able to restrain opponents or things that some kind of utility arrows.
Yeah, that might be something I'd be able to do. I might be able to come up with something.
Okay. So
What parts do you have on you? Yeah.
I ain't got shit, little buddy, but I'll keep an eye out. If you're saying you can build something for me, I'll keep an eye out and start collecting things.
I would like for Alonso, to roll a persuasion check to try and convince, help sketch out like a brainstorm, really, of how, Laszlo's inventions, his gadgets, any arcane enhancements, like something that might be able to help you in your combat style. So persuasion check from Alonso. And yeah, the way he's able to describe something that might help him in combat, or something that might help him track something, or something that might give him an edge in close combat, you get the sense that you have just the invention, Laszlo. So go ahead and roll your check for Alonso. Your downtime.
You're our whore, Laszlo.
And so you make good progress, and just to give you an idea of how you can help him, you'd be able to find ways to craft ammunition anywhere at any time using any material. And you also might be able to learn advanced arrows and ammunition. But that, might take a little bit more research, that's all.
Yeah, I'm just gonna need a little bit more time, Alonso.
But what you can
out.
do is if we find, let's say, a stick, you can make that stick an arrow.
Can I do that already or no?
No,
Oh, that's fucking.
yeah, that's what I'm.
Sticks, awesome.
Yeah, long story short, yes, that is what you will be able to do should you continue to brainstorm with Alonso.
Okay.
I whip
So
out.
I haven't-
my torch. I whip out my torch.
I'm
Can
not
you make
able
this
to
into an
yet.
arrow?
No,
I'm not able to yet.
not
No, I
yet.
know.
Yep.
Alonso doesn't get it. That's the.
Yeah. Right, but yeah, just so for clarification's sake, yes, if you succeed in this downtime activity with Alonso, you would be able to do that. And you'll also gain access to advanced ammunition that he can use.
Woo.
Yep. Great. Anything else you'd like to do, Alonso?
Nah, man, I'm just gonna get some sleep and look forward to seeing my pa. And yeah, that's about it.
Ooh, Salvatore, what are you up to? This is late in the night.
With my new alchemical tools, I'm going to continue with my studious activities and process the mutagens in an attempt to increase my power.
Yeah, so watching Tito in action, you reimagine the way this fluid went through his body, and every time you had a concoction ready to taste, you feigned away from it. Fears of a foe long past, the one that must have massacred your family. Make a history check.
Ooh.
I just envision you smelling it and then cat gagging.
Yeah. Like furball.
Oh. Things. There you guys.
And so trauma begins to enter your mind of these memories that you put off for days, months, years, of watching your family succumb to an assailant who crept through underneath door cracks. You were such a young kitten at the time, and you watched as this shadow of sorts, it curled up, it just pooled together, and you watched as it slaughtered your mother directly in front of you. She hid you just before he invaded your clan home. And it's as though all dozen or so of the Shadow Walkers, you were the only to survive, and you were so indisposed of. You left, and that's how your journey began.
Ooh. Is there a in mine and Kai's room? Is there a basin of water?
Yes.
I go, and I go and I smash the basin onto the ground, and I like start punching the water that is built onto the floor, and then I go to bed.
Okay.
That was some perfectly good water. What are you doing?
You wouldn't know, water boy.
I don't.
One last thing, Salvatore, make an insight check.
Ooh.
Yeah, when you re-saw these memories that you blocked out, you imagine that it might not have been water, but that's how your mind had, well, constructed it. It's as though, like, that's how you were able to understand what you were witnessing, that it was water. And perhaps you were just projecting, water as your true enemy.
Ooh.
This is a cat.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah, okay. Thank you, Alonso.
But that's may or may not be true.
Oh.
And so you sleep for the evening then?
I apologize to Kai for calling him Water Boy, and then I explain the visions I had before going to bed.
I understand.
Oh, now does he understand for real though?
Kai, make a insight check. He is a great listener, and although you are lashing out at him with hate in your voice, he is able to take in everything you say, and he's able to give you that shoulder to cry on. And what's nice is that shoulder, it's already made of cry. It's water. So.
It's already.
Never speak of this to Laszlo. He's a dick. At least to me.
You're secret.
So Kai, what is Kai doing? And obviously this isn't all, like chronological. It's basically what you did with your evening before you went to bed.
So at this point, I would spend the rest of the evening meditating. Having been now probably landlocked for the longest period of time in a while, I'm going to do some guided imagery and just imagine myself out on the ocean and be in that moment.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your downtime activity.
I like to think that Salvatore's outburst happened right in the middle of that.
yeah, you were well equipped for that situation.
Normal.
Nice. And so, in true fashion, you're able to picture yourself out at sea, and you see your old crew, these pirates, smugglers, individuals with a free spirit, and you found yourself among them because they were so accepting, so welcoming to orphans, to people without a home, without parents, and you just remember those times, and it's as though as you're remembering them, they all begin to just fade away, and instead of a group among you, you find yourself out alone and in the ocean, and you're just rocking with the waves back and forth, and you are your own vessel. You are your own individual, and you just have such a pristine moment of understanding. And so you may add advantage to any wisdom check once per day. So basically, it's the Indomitable ability, and if you're familiar with fighters, Indomitable allows you to reroll any saving throw. So this downtime feature, once per day, as long as it's wisdom relative, a check or a save, you can reroll it.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
No man is an island.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do tonight?
I'll go to bed.
Okay. All right. So it is now the morning. Caca! 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 Shut up! And then you hear like a mimicked projection. Shut up! Damn Kenkus.
I'd like to buy everyone breakfast
Okay.
and hope like have it ready for when everyone files downstairs.
I look up at my table.
So Bruce, make a persuasion check, and this is you having timing in mind. Basically realizing like, hey, maybe like Laszlo will spend a little extra time in his room, so his meal might come out a little bit later. And so you traveling with your friends, your compatriots, you get a good idea of like their morning routines, and so you time it appropriately. And the waitress, every time she comes over, you're able to give her like subtle nods and directions, and you can tell like she is blushing every time she interacts with you. But it's overall like you have a great sense of timing, and so you're able to accurately convey these meals to be brought out, and everyone's well fed, well nourished. Go and roll a d4, Bruce.
Okay.
Everyone has 2 temporary hit points
Cool.
as you eat
Hell
a
yes.
nice meal. Bruce, that'll be 2 gold pieces for everybody.
So what is it? To 2 of 10?
Or no, I'm sorry, 2 gold pieces for everybody. Like, that's all it took was 2 gold pieces.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 total.
Yep. These were great, very healthy, very nutritious breakfasts. And that's why everybody got 2 temporary hit points. There should be a way to track that. I'm double...
I see temp,
Yes.
plus temp underneath my...
Yeah, so I noticed some of you added it to your normal health, which, I mean, actually works. It does work the same way, so whatever tracks better for you. But for, like, Laszlo, for example, I put it underneath the 38.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So either way works. Like, if you go over your hit points cap, it's like the same thing, and we'll understand. But you're all now gathered at the breakfast table. Is there any agenda on your minds?
So,
Does anyone remember how far it is to Deeprock?
oh yeah, I mean, we gotta get on the train, man. It'll take us there.
Like an hour?
Yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah, we got any kind of business there besides seeing Paul? I mean, after we go see him, if we just head out of town and make our way back to get some money.
Yeah, let's go see your dad, Alonso. And I kind of want him, if it's possible. Is he completely quarantined off, or would I be able to like actually see? I want to see if there's anything I can gain from learning and observing.
I only saw his letter, but I guess when we get there, we can get a better idea of what quarantine means. Maybe we can sneak in or get a look at him. You know, something, see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like for everyone who's proficient in perception to roll perception check. So you overhear several conversations about the earthquakes that have been happening lately. That they seem to be kind of getting longer, louder, and they seem to shake up a lot more things. You can tell that in this tavern that there are a couple things that fell off the wall that were missing, such as like a portrait that is currently like you can see the indent of the frame from where dust would have been, and a little bit of glass still remaining at the bottom. You also overhear a couple of people mention that the train, like there might have been a cave-in, and so that the next train that goes through, there might be some kind of detail work still being done to clear the tracks. But overall, and this is from Alonso, you understand that a normal train ride is about 4 hours straight to Deeprock. When you get there, it's like a large concourse, and so there's more trains that go in different directions when you get to the main city of Deeprock. And so your father, he did send that letter, and he told you that, his quarantine was just about wrapping up and that he could talk to you, could see you.
Okay. All right. I mean, we by this time now we should be able to see him. I mean, he was quarantined before, but I think that's over now. So we can go visit him and you can take a look at him, see what you might be able to learn about it.
Perfect.
Was he
Perfect.
quarantined in his home, or is there a caretaker watching over him?
Yeah, no, it's self-quarantine, man.
Okay.
It's that home quarantine,
So we don't really know.
Yeah. So
I did want to mention. I did notice last night when I was out shopping and doing nothing else. When
did you go shopping?
Oh, when you were all. This was as everyone was resting and going to say. I went and did some shopping, but
I was out at the market yesterday.
Oh, what? By the Smith?
Over by the fish.
Oh, see, we might not have crossed paths then.
Isn't the Smith right over there?
The Smith and the fishmonger are right next to each other.
well, it's actually the same vendor. He sells fish as a hobby.
Makes
That's
it
so weird. I didn't see you. That's crazy.
Aren't all vendors fish vendors? What else?
Yeah, more or less like you guys accurately describe the same individual who both sold you something. And yeah, just that weird serendipitous type thing where you guys share it.
The fishes above the city, something is going on up there.
The fish are
not the fish, fishes.
I legitimately thought you said fishes, but I'm really glad that Kai thought you said fishes.
So when he clarifies, Kai, go ahead and make a nature check.
Sure.
And this is you having a brief understanding of the fissures themselves, although earthen nature isn't really your thing. You do have a ranger who is well versed in the area, and maybe he's worth asking.
Maybe he gets advantage because it's his hometown.
Oh, is anybody gonna ask him?
What do you need to know?
Well, the fissures seem to be, acting out of sync. Like there's more of them. They're more frequent.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Earth can't figure out what
it
side.
kind of
to
seems
float
like
on.
the Earth is mad, huh? I mean, I don't really know much more than that, but
You
what
can
do
make a
you think?
nature check or Arcana check, Alonso, your choice. And so, from feeling the vibrations and being a planar warrior, someone who walks between the planes, you get the vague idea that the portal, and you're aware that there's a portal underneath Deeprock, the one that leads to the earthen plane. You can tell that something's awry, it might be upset, there's some kind of discrepancy in the force.
The Earth Force.
Yeah, there's just some out of whack, man, with all the Earth element.
Do you think this is because we killed that shadow creature?
Oh no, man, that's
Is that a different portal?
no, that was good. That was a good thing to do. We need to kill the shadow stuff. Shadow equal bad.
Oh yes, I understand, but I wonder if there's been some consequence of it not being there.
I mean,
Leave that up to the smart people.
Maybe it
Man.
had a friend.
I don't know much about the Earth and all that, but I would imagine that that creature didn't belong in the first place. So I don't think that creature would have anything to do with it.
Yeah,
Being upset.
I would have assumed that because we cleansed the tree that it would have the opposite effect, but something is still awry. Speaking of rye, could you hand me that bread, please?
It just could be something else altogether. I mean, there was those weird rat people and that weird lady in the portal that we spoke to. So it could be a number of things.
Virgo. That was our next agenda after we visit Alonso's father, correct?
Yes.
All right. I just wouldn't, don't want us to all get the city stuck in a jam. Speaking of jam, could you hand me hand me that raspberry jam? Thank you.
And so you get another copy of the newspaper. It's a lot of the similar stories. However, there seems to be a story in the Virgo section of the paper where there's been prominent increase in harvest, as in waking up the new bounty was a little bit more plentiful, and you all assume it had something to do with what you did and how the Terran tree might impact the environment directly, around in a couple mile radius. And you can see that there is a clear presence in terms of the flora, because it's being reported on.
It's good to hear.
Yeah. You all kind of what's funny, I was just gonna say, you all walked away from the tree, kind of like bad guy, or a good, a guy walking away from an explosion, not looking back.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
You all just assumed you helped. You didn't really stick around to see if you did.
Very Team America.
Yeah. I guess we didn't really consider the consequences of just leaving it, but maybe the roots are growing so fast for the earth that's causing earthquakes.
That's a good assumption. Should we go check? I don't.
That's really out of the way.
And so,
All right.
while Alonso did say that, just to call back how I shared the information through him, he does note that it's the elemental plane of Earth, and that it's coming from that portal, that direction, and that's directly under Deeprock. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Hey, Alonso's still probably theorizing.
Yeah,
Like, he's still-
it's honestly a good theory. I I just didn't want there to be like conflicting information that I share. Yeah, that's all.
Hmm.
Oh, well, we
Should
want to
we
go
tell
see
somebody
Alonso's
important about that?
Important about what again?
The planar portal, the Earth portal. Should we let them know that it might be going haywire, or should you think they already know that kind of stuff?
Our reputation's not getting any better, so we might as well.
Couldn't hurt. Who would we speak to?
The majority of the town guard is dead because of us. However, there is probably somebody who is in charge. Perhaps on our way out of town to see.
Yeah, let's go see it, Paul. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, let's head on now.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
They're all out.
the idea is you're all getting on the train then.
That's right.
Okay.
Before we leave, I'd like to tell the barmaid that whatever food is left to just distribute it to whoever might want it.
I-
So, not waste it.
I would ask the people at the train station if there's any kind of delays or any kind of like what's going on with the train as far as that cave-in might be concerned.
Oh yeah. Okay. We'll make a investigation. But you, the first lady you ask. Yeah, I mean, I overheard that there might be just a quick stop or two so they can clear out the tracks before the train actually passes, that's all. And so you get the idea that there's definitely some kind of detour at work, but the train is still fully functional and it's intending to make its route directly to Deeprock.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, the barmaid basically takes all of your food. She wraps it up in the tablecloth. Oh, yes, sir, right away. Mr. And she's trying to ask for your name. Vavain. Mr. Vavain, thank you. You can tell that she's very coy. And so she wraps up all the food in like the tablecloth and she hurls it over her shoulder and she walks outside. And as you all are, pushing your chairs in and you make your way outside, you see that she's feeding all the homeless people. And they call her by name. Thank you, Susie. My mom couldn't buy us dinner last night, and I went to bed hungry. And she hands him your leftover shepherd's pie, the one that you found a hair on, and you left the hair in there.
Salvatore approaches Susie and like loudly exclaims, "They say, here is a gold coin. This is for the children. The shadow walkers are the ones who are wanting to donate."
So
And he's establishing that our group is called the Shadow Walkers, and without anyone else's consent, of course.
Sure, make a persuasion check to enunciate your clan name and try to make it memorable. You roll your R's, and so you make it, roll off the tongue.
Shadow Walkers.
There's only like one R in there. Why do you add so many R's?
So she takes the gold piece and she holds it for the children. Yes, Mr. Shadow Vein Walkers.
Yeah. Salvatore takes his hat off in an overly like exuberant motion. Say, yes, I am Salvatore, leader of the Shadow Walkers.
Oh, well, yeah, a gold piece will go a long way in this town. Thank you, sir.
It is my pleasure. I love the children, and so do my subordinates. And
When you say it that way, you watch as the homeless mother, she kind of like positions the child slightly behind her.
I meant take the gold coin. It's free money.
Let's go.
I'm trying to give goodwill.
Yeah, so you all make your way over to the small train station, directly underneath Deeprock Port. It's more or less like a lower level. So Deeprock Port, it's already inside of a mountain, and you slowly make your way down deeper, like a small staircase that leads into this large chamber that seems to hollow itself deep underneath the earth, and it goes directly eastward towards the mountain of Deeprock, which you could see in the distance every time you were out and about exploring the fissurous countryside, the that which Alonso grew up within, and his father lives in Deeprock.
Is it one way, or is it like this is a stop, or could it keep going in the other direction?
So this is
this like an end of the line?
Yeah, think of it as like there's two ends, like point A and point B. Point A is Deeprock Port. Point B is Deeprock City. And so it's just one way back and forth. It's only one train that you can see that goes back and forth. You can tell that there must be some kind of like mechanical home for these in Deeprock City, where they're actually building the trains themselves and putting them on the tracks. So you're more or less in like the trading part, the hub that has airport access. So like the main city of Deeprock just doesn't have an airport. That's why they had to create this port town variant for the city.
Cool. Okay.
And so you all make your way down into this deep dungeon of like a train station. Think like New York City subway type stuff. And so you're there, there's tons of people around. So if you'd like to talk or mingle with like the passerbys, I even have a couple tokens. Pick them at random. But overall, it's 2 gold pieces for a one-way ticket.
No problem.
All right, Bruce, you got us.
All right.
I thought today was your day.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Here, I'll pay for everybody. I'll go ahead and put in the 10 gold.
That was so kind. So kind. And give a mouse a cookie.
Okay, and you can like mouse over these guys. These are all the individuals that you see kind of like scattered about the concourse, this small port side train station. Can you see them?
There's twins. Yeah.
So, remember you where you have a doppelganger right over there?
Oh, that's the same person. I just put them on twice.
Oh, this is so great.
Yeah, just to give you a better idea of like the interaction around this train station, as all these people are looking to get on, or maybe they're a little bit conflicted about going because there's a detour. Maybe they're on the fence about even going. Maybe there's like some tourists, but they're all talking, more or less to themselves or their companions.
I'll just kind of wait patiently. If I hear anything intriguing, maybe eavesdrop.
Man, this city is full of adventuring type people.
Lots of horns.
Yeah, you can tell that there's a couple Taran individuals. Taros born, much like how Salvatore Tabaxi is born and bred as a Leo. The Taurus people, they are Minotaurs as their more primal race. And so they have that influence of Taurus, the sign of the bull. And so he and his wife are kind of like moseying about. You can see that they have some fresh produce on them as well. There's his wife. And so you make your way up to the conductor, and he's selling tickets at the ready. Basically, people are buying their tickets, they're holding on to them. Before they walk on, they hand him the ticket, the one that they purchased from him, and he punches it, and he escorts you on board. There's more than one cabin. Like, you can totally ride in the bed cabin, so there's like because it's a 4-hour trip, some people like the sleeper cabins. And so you're welcome to upgrade your price to 3 gold pieces to have a nice room with a bed, or you can just sit in the common area and share it with all the other individuals. There's also seating next to the conductor himself, as well as the engineer and the driver for the train.
Sleeper car. I already paid for it.
Okay. So mark your
It's
gold.
an additional.
It's an additional 1. It's more or less like the next class, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
You do get the impression that this train doesn't have like a nobles type of sleeper car. This is just a generic sleeper's car, more or less for like the working common man. But the other trains that go to the main cities, such as Gardenia, which is the Taurus city, or Choten, which is the Capricorn city, they have much more luxurious cabins because the trip is much longer.
Whatever the nicest one I can buy.
It's just a commuter car.
Yes. So who wants the noble car? Who wants a sleeper car?
You know where I'm going.
Go big or go home. Yeah.
I'm in the common area.
Yeah,
in
I'll
the
do the
common.
common.
Okay, and that's 2 gold per each of you. And so you're making your way onto this
I
train.
already paid for all. I paid for all of them.
Oh, you paid for all. Okay, great. Fantastic. And so there is one familiar person on the train itself. You recognize him as Moliere. Oh, hello, friend. It is me, Moliere. And Moliere was the individual who seemed to kind of just bumble about on that airship not too long ago. I am the assigned engineer for today's travels.
Oh, I remember him. All right, he was one of the prime suspects of being an evil genius of that, but really he's actually a bumbling idiot.
I think I roughed this guy up on accident.
For the record, only Bruce is talking to him at the moment because he is inside of the noble's quarters. The sleeper cars. Yeah, sorry, I didn't clarify. But yes, right now it's only Bruce that is kind of meeting him. And so Bruce will eventually relay that when the train starts moving, which I have a map for it once it finally takes off. But yeah, he stepped into his cabin and stepped back out. And then basically in the area where people are driving the train, as well as like feeding it energies or just overall like commandeering the train, like the conductor, Moliere is sitting there. So if you want to say anything to him, Bruce, you can. Otherwise, you basically tell your party, oh, Moliere's here.
Not really, because I remember my only real interaction with him was when I wasn't Bruce, so I don't want to be conspicuous.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so everybody is basically getting situated. Bruce peeks in on you all before the train finally takes off. You can hear it start to churn up. It's going, it's starting to finally get a little bit of momentum. Everybody is packing themselves into their seats. All aboard! You hear the conductor say.
So cliche.
Hogwarts, 3 9 3/4.
I stow all my belongings above me in the overhead compartment,
Safe.
except for my yachting. I'm playing on that.
Okay.
I'll send you the man in the paper crown.
The crazy looking one.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So yeah, the train's getting on. Everyone make a perception check.
So wait, we're not all together though, right? I'm a little confused.
You are the
spatially.
only one not with your group. You basically have like your own private quarters, which is a little bit
Right.
closer to the conductor, the engineer, and all that. So how that benefits you, we'll soon find out.
Okay. So, well then I wouldn't make this check, or yes?
You can make this check, yes.
Okay. So,
Okay. So with that information, Bruce, you and you notice the corner of your eye. Well, there seems to be like more people on the train than you initially counted. And Kai, you didn't really see this individual when the train engine started. And this is what they look like. Did that show for everybody?
yeah. It's just one
Yep.
sexy white-haired elf.
Yeah, and one of the individuals that was in your compartment, Bruce, and only you saw, he kind of like shuffled in at the last second. That's what he looks like.
My God, man. What happened to your eye?
Well, he shut himself in his room. He wasn't really looking for conversation. And the train itself has already taken off at this point. So you guys are moving very slowly at first. But I think I have... Chugga, 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 chugga.
Nice.
Immersion. Love it.
Damn.
Oh yeah, god damn it!
Huh?
You hear the conductor yelling at Moyer. Oh right, oh sorry, right away. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, bop, bop, bop. And then you hear like a quick stutter in the engine, and then it just immediately picks up again. See, perfect, just as I recall it. And so, the train has taken off. Hopefully, it begins loading for you.
Boop, boop. 40%. 10%.
Yo, would we be able to take a break pretty soon?
Yeah. Once everybody gets eyes on this map, we will take our break.
All right. Thank you.
Eyes.
Oh, cool.
What?
Nice.
Oh. He's like, I want you to see this shit.
I need your reactions, goddammit.
That is cool.
I mean, it's all right, I guess.
I want that car. Oh, I see what you were saying now. Okay. I was confused. I'm like, am I in the engine room or my room? I didn't know what's happening.
Yeah. Well, this definitely helps give you an idea.
Yes,
So,
yes,
now that
yes.
you all have perspective on the map, we will take a short break.
Awesome.
So, you all are getting comfortable on the train. You're having a grand old time. You see all these unique individuals all seated at their own, places of interest. They have their assortment of goodies or just overall adventuring gear all strewn about. You can see it's a little bit messy in this cabin because people are getting so comfortable, basically throwing all their trade goods all around just to keep storage ample. But you all paid for your place on this fast-moving piece of machinery, and overall, like, it's such a new experience for most of you. You're all very enamored with the type of technology that you're currently riding 40 miles an hour, very quick. So it is going to take you roughly, 4 hours of travel. I did the math earlier, but I wouldn't say you're going 40 miles an hour. That's a little bit fast, but it's just like, best way to describe it would be on one of those, like a go-kart. Yeah, it's about the speed of a go-kart.
From this
You don't wanna-
map, it looks like we're going anime speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
I'll
want to
leave it
jump
to
out
Sa-
at least.
I leave over to Salvatore. I'm like, does it? Is this me or does there's a couple people on this train look a little more colorful than the others?
That's racist.
Salvatore turns to Alonso and he says, "One of these things is not like the other."
Maybe you said we noticed like that there were some like different people on the train, right?
Yeah, people that might, not have caught your eye when you were initially boarding. Like, perhaps they had a good stealth check and they were sneaking on, or perhaps they were there before you arrived, or were in the loo. Like, there's a multitude of reasons why you hadn't seen them until, well, the train started moving.
I just wanted to make sure it was okay. I was acknowledging that something was amiss.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's really amiss, so as, there's people that weren't initially there are now there. So, yeah, you could say that's amiss. Sure. Is there anything you all would like to do in this first hour? It's a 4-hour trip.
I'm just gonna peruse a newspaper.
Ooh. Do you see anything?
There's it's the newspaper we got a couple sessions ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read some more of it.
News does travel fast, but for the most part, like, the stories are like a weekly situation. Like, clearly, it takes some time for updates to happen.
Sounds like whoever's writing this newspaper just is really slow at coming up with new
One
stuff.
guy.
Yeah. Hey, the newspaper can stop if, certain goblin artificers don't like it.
Is there a window to stick my head out of?
Right.
I would say that's like a dangerous thing to do because you're in like a cavern. There's objects that are passing by at a pretty quick speed. Although you can totally find a hatch, and you can open the hatch. You can tell that there is certainly like a small indentation that one of your size specifically, or smaller, can obviously like peruse and travel. So yes, there are ways to stick your head out. Yes.
Cool. I'd like to go try to find a ladder and stick my head out.
Okay. Sure. Make a acrobatics check as you're finding a path up to one of the hatches, or pushing aside some of the cargo that was blocking one of the doors that you yourself entered into. And so you're able to find your way up, basically like claw into these handholds that go from a 90-degree angle all the way up to where you're upside down, you're hanging, and you pop open the latch. It flies open. It basically on a hinge flops and hits the ceiling. So right now everyone is staring at you because you've opened a latch, and now you hear the louder train engine. It is completely encompassing the room you all are in.
All right, so before I pop after I pop the hatch open, before I stick my head up though, I like kind of look around and notice like everybody's looking at me. Maintenance, pay no heed. And before I even like see if my deception works, I just like keep going.
Yeah, I would even say that was believable enough. And you being a resident, a local, someone who might actually work here, yeah, no deception required. So you maneuver out and about. You're now basically on top of the train itself. You are very close to your head skimming the stonework, and so you keep crouched your low. Yeah, you can crawl, prone, etc. You close the latch. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna hang out up there and just kind of enjoy the breeze, and just kind of. I'm gonna leave the hatch open though, if that's possible.
Okay, make a perception check. You're gonna leave the hatch open?
If that's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. And so as you're looking about, you can count how many cars as these lights kind of like flicker. There's definitely like sunlight that sometimes pops through and illuminates the entire train. There's a thin layer of smoke that seems to emanate from the siphoning train engine. And so that is kind of like hitting your face, so you're squinting a bit. But you look back and there's roughly 3 more carts behind yours.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap like I don't have any cloth probably in my bag, like just like tear off. So never mind. I'm just kind of like pull my like my shirt up over my my mouth a little bit, just get a little cover, and just kind of start crawling forward. And is this hatch like see-through, or is this a big metal hatch I had to pop open?
It was a pretty hefty hatch, yeah. And so you propped it open, yeah. And I'm sorry to ask so many questions about it, but was it like locked from the inside? Did I have to like turn a mechanism, or just like fly open? It wasn't locked. And so because you failed to close the hatch, the tallest man in the cabin, the big Minotaur, he walks over and just using his full height, he grabs the hatch and closes it. He doesn't even say a word. He says nothing.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I should be okay.
You can also open it from the outside. That you can tell. You can open it from the outside.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna hang out from here and see what everybody else is doing for a moment. Role play.
Of course. Anybody else doing anything in particular? There's plenty of characters about, like the man with the crown.
Do I see his rat?
Make a perception check. Yeah, you are so enamored with this rat that kind of like curled from inside of his crown. It just curled down into his shirt, and he kind of like pokes his head out every once in a while. And he sometimes nibbles on his friend, his owner, and they share like a small moment when nobody's looking. However, you see everything, and it's a cute sight. It's nothing distraught.
Not creepy.
Not creepy.
Okay. Is he looking at me, or is he not paying attention?
Let's find out. He's facing the other direction, but he gets that, sixth sense that someone's looking at him, and he turns towards you. And he's a little bit shocked that you're staring, unless you were trying to hide it.
No, not particularly. I just say, "Oh, what's your friend's name there?"
Oh, this is Grimoire. Grimoire, say hi. And Grimoire crawls out through his long sleeve shirt, pokes its head out, and he actually gets on his haunches, and he does like a small wave.
Aww.
Hello, Gilmore.
Pleasure to meet you. My name's Harold.
Good day, Harold.
Oh, okay. Well, you look funny. What's got you feeling so blue?
You know, that's a good one. I have to give it to you. What brings you on this train today, traveling to Deeprock?
Well, you see, I'm the one true king of Deeprock, so I'm on my way back to assassinate the king.
Well, do you have? I'm taken aback by this, but I'll just say, don't let the guards hear you saying that too loud. You don't want to get in any trouble there.
You know, that makes you my accomplice.
Well, only if you get caught.
That's true. Until then, Grimoire has been and always will be my favorite accomplice. And Grimoire turns towards him, gives him like a salute with his rat-like hands, and he crawls up and into his shirt, and he gets right on top of his crown, and you can see that he's kind of like peering out, looking like a scout.
Nice.
Yep. And as the conversation like comes to a close, you notice that the rat kind of like grabs like handfuls of this man's hair and pulls them, and it kind of like jerks him a couple times.
Ratatouille. Okay. Is that interesting to me?
Make an insight check. You can tell that there's something off about this man, and well, more or less, like, he seems very truthful, very honest. Like he shared some weird thing that he wanted to do, and he was like telling the truth as far as you could tell.
As in, not like a crazy person in the sense that he's talking nonsense, but a crazy person in that he was being truthful with me.
Yeah, crazy person as in like what he said he believed.
Okay.
Anybody else doing anything?
Do I?
Or what's up?
Okay.
No,
There's not. I was just gonna say there's not really an existing king of Deeprock, is there?
The king of Deeprock is... There is a lineage, there is a royal blood, and yes, there is a king of Deeprock. A matriarch.
Okay.
A patriarch.
Good to know.
Patriarch. Who else is hanging out?
Ooh. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna simple. I wasn't gonna explore the train. I just would want to like, if I can on the train, just experiment with potions and see if study my components and potions and herbs and all that stuff.
Certainly. And hindsight, you realize that having a nice room, such as the one that Bruce bought, may have been great for that. And so you are welcome to try and, purchase one.
Nah, I'm just gonna do it out here.
Okay. It'll just be at disadvantage. So go ahead and roll
That's fine.
2d20 at disadvantage. The shaking of the train isn't so difficult. It's more or less like the sounds and the commotion and the smells and just all the different distractions of these rooms that prevent you from getting any serious work done. And so disadvantage, you rolled a natural
rolled a
1.
one.
However, what were you working on?
I'm just trying to like study more creative potions, I guess, or curative potions. Sorry,
Yeah, and so you were tinkering with some of your
medicines.
well-established recipes that are, by the book. And so at this point, you're trying to add new Laszlo flavorful experimentation with popular potions, such as your potion of healing, maybe adding a little bit of spice, some cinnamon, perhaps, enhance the flavor while creating a nice curative blend.
Yeah,
And everything
some
you
sugar
attempt,
and everything nice.
every sugar, spice, everything nice. And so you add more style and flavor instead of potency, and you realize potency is what gets the job done. So I am adding to your curative potions a total of 1 plus your wisdom modifier. So, nice. You made a total of 2. 2 points.
2 what?
2 out of 20.
Oh.
Yeah, so you made a little bit of progress on the downtime.
Can I start making my way back to the commoner's car?
Sure. So you exit out of your room.
Hastily, with the newspaper in my hand.
Okay. If you're going hastily,
Instantaneously.
and
Like
what's up?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
Where did we get these, by the way?
You bought it from the barmaid.
The barmaid. Okay.
So you open up this hatch, and it swings open on a hinge. As you open it, you can see all of the passing pillars and beams of light that create this tunnel, and this whooshing sound, this roar of the engine that's so loud that you were able to, muffle it out, like in this great area where all of these engineers and this conductor was, and all of these other nobles and people who decided to pay for the sleeping car. It was definitely soundproofed to some degree, and you swing open this hatch, and you notice that there's another hatch on the next cart over. But with how the train's moving, you'll have to roll an acrobatics check
Ooh.
to balance yourself on the beam in between.
Does he see me?
No, you're on top of the cart, so unless he actively tried to look up, climb and spot you, he wouldn't have saw you. So yeah, you're able to balance on the beam. You kind of use it as a means of practicing your jujitsu or whatever technique you're minding. And so you open up this new hatch and you peek inside. Yeah, and everyone immediately looks towards you because it's a roaring sound that comes with opening these doors, because you hear everything outside of them.
Does anyone here know about time travel?
Yes, time travel. It is a concept. Well, space and time travel are relatively the same thing. And he basically goes into a speech prompted by that question. Everyone just goes about their business outside of this individual who has your full attention, or vice versa.
I want to show him the newspaper. And be like, does anything about this look strange to you?
Okay, so you hand him the newspaper, and he skims through it. He adjusts his binocular sized eyeglasses, trying to read it. You can see he's still squinting, and his glasses are literally touching the page as he's trying to read it. Yes, what about it?
Do you know what today is?
The 2nd of Sagittarius?
Exactly. The date on this newspaper is from 103 years in the future.
Oh, they must have had a smudge or the printing error.
You're going to surmise that? Look at it. 103 years and 11 days.
That's actually hilarious. I didn't even think to look on that.
That's so great.
So
Came back to bite you 2 hours
Yeah.
later.
the handout. Well, this was from a couple sessions back too, and
No,
we're
it's-
just now doing the calendar deal. So what I'm going to do to make everything irrelevant or relevant is I'm going to adjust the in date time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that would be funny though.
Right?
You just unraveled the whole game.
I thought so.
You're like, this is it. Wow, what it was.
We're stuck in a time loop.
All right, well, it appears I got my years mixed up. I thought it was. All right, never mind then. Carry on, commoners.
They just forgot the 1 and the 3 and the 4. They just forgot a lot of numbers in that date. That's all.
All right, then. I'll go back to my car.
You open the hatch. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Everybody looks towards you. You close the hatch. Do you say anything when you close the hatch, or you're dipping?
Nope.
Okay.
But as I go back to my car, I want to look for the nearest waste bin and throw the newspaper aggressively into the waste bin.
Okay.
disappointed.
Yeah, as you throw it in the waste bin, you could have sworn it just poofed out of existence.
Oh wow!
Could have.
I'll go into my room and brood out the window.
Okay. What's Salvatore up to?
Salvatore's going to go ahead and just do a quick insight check of his fellow travelers to see if anyone looks suspicioso.
Sure, you can pick 2.
I don't think it'll matter.
You can pick another one and roll once again.
Ooh, my wingy boy over here.
Sure. So these two individuals, they stick out more or less because they're avians. They're bird-like individuals, which you've encountered once before. They seem to hail from the city the Librans come from, Zenith, which is on the next over, the tallest mountainscape that complements Deeprock Zone. So if you were to look westward, if you look westward, that's where the Libran society has begun to create this apex of civilization, and you can tell that these individuals are here on business. And so both of which appear to be in a very deep conversation. One is holding an abacus and moving beads back and forth. Yes.
Well, Salvatore, very rudely, mind you, will come and interject and tell them of the avians that he has and his party has rescued recently, and say that they're that the Shadow Walkers were the ones that were to save them.
Oh my, you must be talking about the red flock. The red flock, yes. The red flock.
Yes.
Well, they're a brigade of scouts that serve Zenith, as well as, reporting back on the endeavors of foreign affairs. And well, we were curious of what was happening with the Terran Tree. And this is this individual talking. He has a kind of like a laid-back, pompous, kind of like knows more than you type body language.
Well, then you may most confidently report that the Shadow Walkers have dispatched the threat to the tree and have begun the process of the healing.
Yeah, sure, I'll tell someone.
If one were looking to perhaps get the recognition or perhaps visit our new avian friends who returned to the capital, where would we go?
Well, if you go to Zenith directly, that's where their headquarters is located. I mean, they're all travelers. They're all out and about, and they report back through Gmail.
Oh, okay. One last thing. Does anything seem out of place on this train? Besides myself.
Well,
is anything odd?
Well, me and my bodyguard, Oscar, here. You look over at Oscar, who is literally twice your size, has bulging muscles for a bird, just a lot of meat on his bones, and he just kind of looks towards you. You can hear, like, the chinks in his neck kind of, like, work themselves out, and he nods at you. And he clicks his beak a couple times. Well, yeah, Oscar and I, we're here on business. We were supposed to meet a friend of ours, and, he didn't show up. So now we're figuring out the best way to, split his earnings. That's all.
Oh. Okay. There's nothing else out of place, besides myself, of course.
Oh, I mean, I've never seen you before in my life.
As I said, besides myself.
I've never seen any of these people before in my life.
All right, very good. I'll continue to peruse. It's very good to meet some bird boys, such as yourself.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, pussy.
Salvatore's right ear just goes, and he heads towards the back of the train, or this way.
Okay.
Oh, is this the end of the train?
You get to this door and you notice that it's locked. This is the hatch that goes to the next cabin over. And make a perception check, Salvatore.
Ooh.
you note just before you had gotten on the train that perhaps, trade goods, valuables, items that would go into storage or items too large to fit in here, they would all go in the next 3 carts.
Ooh, Salvatore rubs his hands together and he is gonna look around to see if anyone's looking at him.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Can I roll to see if I see him?
You can roll a perception check. You're actually the only one facing him too, Laszlo.
My whole party knows I'm up here. Right?
Damn!
Everyone
we all know,
knows
yeah.
you are up here.
Everyone in the car. I don't. I have no idea.
Except Bruce. However, Bruce, you can make a perception check with disadvantage because you busted in that room. However, Salvatore, yeah, you're super stealthy. However, you lock eyes with Laszlo, and you kind of like blink to him. Like, what are you trying to say with your blinks?
Salvatore just puts a finger to his lips. Just
I shake my head disapprovingly.
Okay.
And I say, "Oh, you can't see me. That's right."
Yeah.
no, I'm looking at you.
You guys are locked eyes right now.
No, I meant my actual face.
Oh,
You can't see me, Chris,
Funny.
the person.
Oh yeah.
So I was like shaking my head, like really fast. Like that's what Laszlo's doing, just shaking his head really fast. Like no.
I can do it now, or I'll wait for my next turnaround for what other people do.
Okay. So this is an hour has gone past. So this is start of the second hour. Let's go ahead and add everyone to initiative just so it's easier to track.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me.
Somebody sneak attack us, aren't you?
Perhaps. Who's missing? Who am I missing? Oh, Alonso. Alright, now you can roll.
Oh.
And I think it's very handy that, you can have the chat and the tracker. So do try it if you haven't.
It is nice.
Okay, so, what is Laszlo doing? No combat.
Oh, just another round of just stuff happening.
Yeah, you begin to hear boss music. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, everything's happening. You locked eyes with Salvatore. You can react however you see fit. However, you can tell that he is attempting something discreetly. Or you can work more on your project.
That way.
You can work more on your project too if you like.
No, I clean my stuff up, put it back in the bag, and then I start walking over towards Salvatore.
Okay. Salvatore, this time make a stealth check with disadvantage as your goblin friend is directly walking towards you. Oh, we can't hear you, Caleb.
My fucking goblin friend. Disadvantage would be shift
Control.
click or control click.
Still relatively stealthy. However, there are a couple of peering eyes. Namely the two that are facing you that are the closest. This guy and this girl.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna whistle. Oh no, not whistle. Just sort of like lean my back against the door and just be like, getting a little stretch in here. This little stretch.
Make an insight check, Salvatore.
Ooh.
So, one thing that you acknowledge is that opening these doors creates a very loud sound. And so, when we get to your turn, you can decide what to do with that information. However, it is still Laszlo's turn. What would you like to do?
Oh, I mean, I moved 30 feet, but I guess if I can move all, like, is it like rounds or if...
Right,
if
no, this is like roleplay rounds. They're not like
Okay,
combat
well,
rounds. Yeah.
I'll just walk all the way up to Salvatore and be like, so what are you doing, buddy?
Stretching, catching my breath, trying to entertain myself in any way I can find possible.
Entertaining yourself with that door and what's possibly behind that door?
I mean, I see that you are also intrigued. Yes, what's behind this door? Perhaps there are
Stuff that belongs to other people.
If you don't mind me telling, I kind of saw what they brought in that first cargo case. Well, the one on the very end. It was a little bit secretive. This is the girl to directly, directly next to Laszlo.
Well, I mean, it's not really our business, or,
Oh, don't you want to know? It looked real secretive.
Oh, yeah, do tell what is over on the car.
I just put my face in my palm.
Alright, I just speculating and all, but I swear it smelled fishy, and I could have sworn like it was moving on its own. It was in a big grey metal box, chained down.
Fish, you say? Fish?
It smelled right fishy, but no, not a kind that looks edible or tasty. And Salvatore, if you didn't notice, this is a tabaxi woman. She's got a nice red fur, more or less like the same color as a tomcat, that orange breed. Tabby cat.
Oh. Oh. Well, you would know, right, sister?
Well, yeah, I got quite a nose on me. I can smell danger when it's getting too close.
Very good.
Danger. So, nothing valuable, nothing of our business that we should pay any mind to as we're on this train for other business, Salvatore.
But of course. And then Salvatore gives two overly too much obvious of a wink wink. Like he thinks that Laszlo's in on the idea with him.
Okay. We'll see what happens. So Alonso, meanwhile, you are currently on the top of this train. It's moving precariously fast, but not too fast to where it'll send you flying. You don't have to make any checks to keep a hold. You're able to firmly grasp the objects that prevent you.
Yeah, after the first hour, I would have been just kind of enjoyed the fresh air, and then come back inside again. Climbed in and seen Laszlo and Salvatore kind of grouped up near the back and hobbled down there and says, "What are you guys doing? Are we having a little party back here?"
I'm just trying to keep Salvatore out of any more trouble.
What are you doing, kitty cat?
Can't hear you.
You're real quiet. Cat got your
Because
tongue.
he's guilty.
I am simply stretching my legs and looking about the car and conversing with fellow tabaxi.
What do you mean guilty, Laszlo?
Oh no, I was just joking because he couldn't talk. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I just looking around. Okay. What's back there?
Something that doesn't belong to us, and we should pay no mind to.
Untold treasures, perhaps? But I wouldn't, though.
Oi, my name's Tamara. I fancy it's something fishy. That's all.
I'm
Fishy.
torn. I digress. I'm gonna see how this unfolds. I say that out loud. And I'm just gonna sit down and watch Salvatore.
Oh, sure. The only open seat would be next to Tamara.
Howdy.
Great. Kai, what are you up to?
I think I'm gonna just sit and watch and see what's going on here.
Okay.
I'm gonna just kind of be paying attention to what's going on in the room, including
Sure.
Salvatore.
Yeah, make a
Are these
perception.
toilets?
Yes.
One's leaky.
Yeah, as you're looking about the cabin, you can see that some of the individuals are, well, they're traveling together. Like the two minotaurs, the man and the woman, they're clearly a husband and wife. You did notice the two bird-like individuals that Salvatore had approached. They are definitely traveling together. Some of them, though, are a little bit out of the ordinary in the sense that, they're traveling alone and they're trying to make a conversation happen. Like, this individual here, he's a dwarf, and he has, a musket that he keeps, adjacently pointing to the woman sitting across from him mid-conversation, and it's such a an uncomfortable experience for her because it's basically, you know, like a gun being pointed at your face while you're trying to have a conversation. Then there's a dwarf that keeps trying to pass out, and he wakes up because the train like bumps or so, and so he takes another swig of whatever drink he has underneath his breastplate, and he falls back asleep. But the individuals in the back, they all seem to kind of like be very quiet, just in kind of like a mindset of meditation, something you're akin to, like they're thinking about something.
Okay. I'll hang back for now. Kind of just watching to see what Salvatore's doing.
Sounds good. So Bruce, you're in your nice, pleasant cabin. There's all the amenities. There's chocolates on your pillow. They don't look like, you know, good quality chocolates, but they're chocolates nonetheless.
I'd like to order an alcoholic beverage, if I could. If they serve amenities like that.
Yeah, make a investigation check.
All right. Investigation. There you are.
So as you're looking about, and you poke your head out of the door of your cabin, essentially the first mate, the dwarven individual who would be, you know, second in charge, she's passing by, and you ask about your... What were you asking for?
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Oh, sure. Let me just button down and get you a nice comfy drink for your 4-hour journey. You can see that she doesn't want to be the stewardess, so to speak, because there isn't one. But it's very clear.
Are you mad at me, or are you mad at your job?
It's very clear that people assume that you can like order drinks through her, and she's just more or less trying to do her job, which is, you know, maintain the train. That doesn't mean serving drinks. Like, she gets mistaken for a stewardess a lot. And sure.
I mean, I didn't mean to offend you. If there's someone else I should speak to, could you send them to me?
Well, more or less. Yeah, a bloke like yourself would bring their own booze. It's like a BYOB type situation. But hey, you know what? 'Cause you asked so nicely, and sure, you got a nice chisel to your jaw, I sure can whip you up something.
All right. Are we cool? Are we all right?
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
You could tell that while you had stuck your head out and just to get her attention and, you know, asking for a drink, like, she obviously had that first initial impression, but after like having just a sentence or two conversation with you and getting an idea of your personality and how you're the fashionable noble with the sly silver tongue, and you have like a handsome cut to your jib, she's more enamored than anything. And she's actually, while she says it so stubbornly and in response, like, it's very clear that she actually wants to get a drink for you to spend a little bit more time, like, getting to know you.
Is that her? She's a dwarf?
Yeah, she's a dwarf.
Okay.
She's a thicky Vicky.
Mm.
So you glance out and you see her like slap the captain, the driver of the train across the head, and you hear a couple mumbling of words, and he hands her his flask that was hidden underneath like his breastplate, and so she walks back over. Dwarven ale, best kind. So tell me about yourself.
I look at it, and it's not whiskey, but I don't say anything. So let's say, what city do you hail from?
Oh, me? Well, I'm from Deeprock, love.
Deeprock. Born and raised.
Oh, yes. You see, us girls, might be a little rocky at first, but after that, you know, we're quite comfortable.
What's the best restaurant in Deeprock?
Well, you see, they've got so much great street food. Literally, just outside the concourse is a beautiful market that's always well lit and perfect for a midnight stroll. And, well, I like to get a couple cinnamon churro dogs and... And you can tell, like, she's trying to entice you into a midnight stroll with her where you all try, like, a multitude of food. However, you can tell just from her descriptions of food, that this woman has an appetite and she will eat you under the table, literally and figuratively. If the night happens.
Hey. What do I owe you for the drink?
Oh, it's on the house.
Oh, well, 1 gold it is then, and I'll give her a gold piece.
Can you pour it in a cup? That's actually my brother's.
I'm sorry?
The flask, please. I told him I would bring back the flask.
Oh, you need the I don't have... I have a mess kit. I guess I'll pull out the mess kit.
Okay.
So, and pour my drink into my own mess kit.
Yeah, it's quite a weird experience because she's talking the entire time and you're just trying to be polite. You pull out your adventure supplies and just things you would have around a campfire. You have like an assortment of different size shapes and cups, and so you pour every last drop of the drink and you hand her back the flask. If you need anything else, just push the button, and she walks out.
Much appreciated. And then I look at my own cup with a drink that I didn't order. I just got luxurious.
Right.
Now keep staring out the window.
Okay. All right, and so we made our way to Salvatore.
Salvatore turns to Alonso and he says, how was the breeze up there? Oh, I can't hear you,
Can't hear you.
Alonso.
It took his breath away.
Anything?
Nope.
There you
There
go.
you go. Oh god, and as soon as you start talking.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it just went out again. Motherfucker.
It wouldn't be a D&D session if we didn't have all sorts of camera.
That was
and
the
microphone.
saddest confetti.
Well, Salvatore is just gonna say, like, well, it looked like you were having fun up there, so I'm going to head there myself. And he's gonna go ahead and head onto the roof.
Okay. Yeah, you find that the ceiling hatch. Yeah, Alonso, unless you decided to clean yourself off, you definitely have some soot that covers you.
Okay.
If that deters you at all, Salvatore.
Ooh, Dusty. I like dust. It sounds like a good time. And Salvatore heads up. Where's the hatch? It's at the other end of the car.
It's like right here. Above this square would be the ceiling hatch that leads out.
Salvatore is going to, as he mutters that he's a dwarf, he's going to be careful to not get his kitty head knocked off, and he's going to, carefully go up there and be aware that there could be close quarters
Certainly.
as he's climbing.
So he said that under his breath, but you essentially get the idea because you did see this tunnel, and the fact that this train went underground, that yes, you would need to mind your head. So you do understand that it is a bit precarious. You're on a moving vehicle. So go ahead and make your acrobatics check to climb up to the ceiling hatch.
Ooh.
You can see this Minotaur sigh in frustration. He has one of those sharp exhales. Yeah, you agilely get up to the hatch and you swing it open and you hear the roaring sound of the train from the outside.
And I courteously close it with my foot as I'm leaving.
Okay. Yeah, with your kitty paws, your jelly beans, you delicately close it and it just... The Minotaur goes,
And then I make my way towards the back of the car, towards where the treasures are.
Okay. And so as you make your way, which cart are you going towards? There's 3 total.
I'm going towards the treasure car, the one over towards the left of the screen, or west.
Yep. So it sounds like you were listening. She said she saw them put that big crate on the very last, the rooster. What's it called? The last one, the caboose. I was thinking rooster.
I don't walk. I crawl.
Okay. No, he's a cat. It's a loud train. There's a sheet of metal, but he does need to make another acrobatics check.
Okay.
Ooh. So, as you're scaling the second to the last cart, and you bridge that gap in between, you unfortunately get one of your paws stuck on a sharp metal corner from one of the train carts. And so you suffer 5 points of slashing damage as you pull back your hind leg just in time before it gets cleaved off by a passing rock.
Ooh. Okay. Well, worth?
Karma.
However, you do make your way all the way to the final caboose as you feel the train begin to slow to a halt, and you see out of the corner of your eye, only Salvatore sees this, that light is at the end of the tunnel, and you find your way out into this open canyon as it opens up as the train finally slows down. Salvatore, you are on the very end of the train as it screeches to a halt. You all hear over the intercom, even Salvatore with your ear pressed against the inside of the cargo train even, the sound of Moliere. It seems as though we have found the intended avalanche or earthquake that has affected the train tracks. Please stand by momentarily as we talk with the foreman who was assigned to clean the tracks as they are not cleaned, and I am being my ear chewed off right now by the captain. One moment, please. And so everyone's kind of like anxiously stirring about. Some people kind of want to peek their heads outside, but they kind of like comfort one another as though, it'll only take a couple moments.
Can I open my window?
You personally do not have a window. These are sleeper cars, so they're intended to be soundproof, and uninterruptible. Okay. However, yeah, the one door is in the very back, basically where you entered out of to, say, hey, time stuff. So that's the only exit.
Is it working?
Hey, he's
You're
back.
working.
Yep.
Hey.
Welcome
A
back.
little bit, barely.
Cool. With how abruptly it stopped, I would be like, oh man, let's make sure Salvatore's okay. I'm gonna try to climb up there and see what's up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to get eyes on what might be ahead of us if I can.
Okay.
Either by like going to that little divide like between the cars and like hanging off the side.
Is anybody else leaving?
I'll,
Do the doors?
follow
Do the doors have
Alonso.
windows on them?
The doors do not have windows. Nope.
Okay. We only see out.
So yeah, the only opening is in the center of each cart. There's that one hatch that opens upward, and then on each end would be the hatch that you also entered in from, but also connects other cars. And yes, the train has come to a halt. So you hear outside noises as, like the commotion of people talking. Everyone inside the cart make a perception check with disadvantage, and those outside, normal.
If I followed Alonso, am I outside?
Alonso, he had already made the check to climb out the open hatch. So he is on top of the cart. Would you like to
wanna
also be on the
follow-
top?
Yeah.
Okay, that will require acrobatics check from you because you have not scaled the same path that he took. And yeah, you're able to dexterously maintain an adequate amount of distance between yourself and him. You're basically spotting where he places each of his arm and foot rests, so you have no problem following after him.
Maybe that's my perception check.
And so, just checking what everybody saw. Salvatore's on the outside. Yep, Bruce is on the outside. Kai, you're staying inside? Okay. There's nothing wrong with
I'll
staying
go outside.
inside. Okay, staying out or going out. And you're going out one of the. Are you going through one of the doors, or are you following through the hatch?
Doors, if we're at a stop.
Okay, do you like the door that Bruce popped through, or the door that Salvatore tried to unlock?
The door that Bruce popped through, because that one's unlocked.
Yep. Okay. So a couple things you all immediately notice is that the conversations seem to be a bit aggressive, and that there are demands being shouted, and that individuals are kind of rifling about this wooden floor. And now I'll share the map with you.
Ooh. So pretty.
Okay, so as you all peek your head outside just to hear what the commotion is, you hear several sounds say, "Put your head back in, boy!" Basically, all of you trying to create an opening for yourself. From whatever area, you note that someone saw you. So none of you are able to successfully, like, open these loud doors, you know, part of a train that is central to this pit stop type area. Like, it's very clear that you came out. So none of you are able to, like, stealthily outside of Salvatore. So Salvatore, you are on the very end caboose. And so you can roll an extra stealth check here, as you're able to see everything and no one sees you. Yeah, so you feel as though no one has spotted you yet. However, you, specifically Salvatore, because everybody else was kind of like corralled in some way that they couldn't like get a very good glimpse of the battlefield. You see roughly 4 individuals on the right side, all clad in similar gear. You see 4 on the left side. Two of which are, well, they seem to be like leaders or like barking orders, but in the very far distance, using your cat-like perception, you can tell that there's 2 that are positioned on the far left cliffside and 2 on the far right cliffside, and they seem to be like, well, leaders of sorts. And then there's also individuals,
My God,
that you may or may not see.
the motor unicycle. That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, these are stealthed individuals.
Fantastic.
So,
Not that greatly stealth though.
yeah. So I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
Ooh.
Or, well, actually, no, not or. Not or.
Ooh, sick.
Too bad I've already rolled.
Damn you, Bruce! You're so fast.
I'm the fastest.
You're the luckiest.
All right. So Bruce, being quick and agile as you are, you notice that these individuals mean harm. They seem to be very prone to violence. They're trying to like chaperone everything that's going on there. They're also somewhat avoiding violence to an extent. Like, they're not trying to kill people, but you can tell that they're not here for good reason. They're not here to solve this detour that has happened.
Just by the way they look, or by what they're saying?
From what they're saying. Yeah, you were one of the first ones to poke your head out, and they're like, "Put your head back in, boy!" As though, like, that was not part of the equation.
Do they seem like they're part of the... Okay, wait. So Moliere said we stopped because there was an earthquake?
Mm-hmm.
And then we stopped at this place, and now these people are here telling us to get back in the train.
Yeah, make an insight check. Bruce Vavane.
Okay.
Yeah, so with that insight check, you understand that Moliere was very correct. He was truthful. This is where the avalanche had happened, just north. Like, where you see all those bodies on the map,
Yeah.
that's the foreman's team, the people that were assigned to clear out the rocks. And it appears as though they were all killed, and, well, shit didn't happen. Like, it wasn't cleaned up.
Are we still outside
okay.
the train, or? Sorry.
Everybody is outside the train, but it's basically like they're trying to push you back in. You're literally like on the threshold of whatever door you came out of.
Yeah, I imagine I'm like hanging off the side because I wanted to see what was in front of the train. So I was like hanging off of the edge of this little platform, trying to like get eyes on that.
Mhm.
And then these people are here, and I'll be like, "What? Why have you stopped the train? What is this?"
It's all right. We're working on clearing it out.
As this guy says.
I
And
see the dead people.
You are quite far. I know everybody can zoom out.
Yeah.
But you can, with your insight check, you know that something's missing, something's wrong. You might even smell it in the air. But go ahead and make a perception check. Yeah, something's wrong, and this guy does not belong.
Okay. I want to try to jump and land on top of his shoulders and then ride him into the ground.
Okay. Well, combat has...
We'll call it a grapple.
All right. This means combat has officially started.
Oh shit.
That's the combat music, guys.
However,
Sorry.
combat can take some time, so we can pause it here, which is a pretty good pausing point. Yeah. No, for sure. But yeah, guys, it was fun. I'm glad.
I'm not the most.
Yeah, and
Cool.
I hope everybody liked the downtime activity.
Yeah, the map was awesome, and I
It
do
was good.
the downtime stuff is a lot of fun.
I like the
It
downtime.
makes rests feel more impactful.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. And those tiny little things, like the little things you give us, I mean, it's essentially like little like uncommon magic items, which is like really cool to have like that added on and to have roleplay elements added to it. Like, you know what I mean? To give something to roleplay.
Yeah, it adds more personality that you hopefully I'm able to read what you're dealing with, like what your character, what you want it to be. And so I'm trying to like pull, strings to like make that happen, give you things you can use that really make sense for your character.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to fight these guys.
Yeah, it's tons of bandits.
Oh, the best.